I was adamant about doing a one-take video. What I originally wanted to do was hire about 100 people, build this tremendous set based on the idea from Fellini's Satyricon, put up about 20 cameras, maybe 10 would be fixed position cameras, and maybe 10 cameramen or women would be on set holding the cameras. You'd see the people actually shooting the video, so there'd be this confrontation of the technology of making a video with like people in all these strange costumes, almost like a party. I talked to them about my idea, and they didn't want to do it my way, but they still wanted to do the basic concept of the one take, but they wanted to do it differently.
He took on this kind of Nosferatu sort of style in the video, which is like really cool. And of all the people we've worked with in Europe and America, he's definitely the tallest. And he just thought that could be interesting as a character. You know, his music is very dark and sort of spooky, and we wanted to kind of capture that in the way that the camera recorded Billy's performance. So that's when the idea of different speeds was something that we'd thought about before, incorporating that into a one take so that his movement would become fast and jerky and then slow motion and graceful in a seamless kind of transition. What we wanted to do was to have him lip sync the song all the way through, so you can't see where or how that change would happen.
They got it in their heads that they were going to use a single camera, speed and slow down the track, and then it would move on this track, and then you'd go through these different scenes.
So Billy had to kind of perform to these different speeds, so sometimes he was walking quickly, although it looks like, you know, he's walking slowly because that's slow motion, and sometimes he was very slow, but he had these spiky movements, and the camera was going very slowly, and he had to coordinate how he was moving as well as keeping in this great character and connecting with the camera.
And then lip sync really quickly or slowly, and it was a lot to do. It's very complicated.
So we ended up hiring 100 people. They built this massive set. The sets look incredible.
John Beard was a production designer who worked on films like Brazil, Terry Gilliam's, and fantastic kind of creative person who brought a lot to those sets.
Everybody shows up for the video. It's going to be a nice, big, expensive video. Everybody gets dressed, and then we sit around for 11 hours. Roughly 4 or 5 times during the course of this 11 hours of waiting, I suggested, why don't we skip the speeding up and slowing down? Let's just run the takes, you know, run them straight, and we'll get what we're looking for. It'll still be good. No, it's almost fixed, just a few more minutes.
We had like massive respect for Billy because he's creatively really strong, which did kind of sometimes pull us into little knocking heads, but when we're in unison and we're working together, then he's like fantastic. He's so sort of driven, so focused about what he's doing that, you know, that's really great for directors because you don't want to be pulling people along.
You know, again, expectations. The great thing is that the actors who were supposed to be in the background of the video acting out certain roles, they were there since, you know, God knows, 6 or 7 a.m. They just basically revolted because they were doing more than their paid day's worth. And one of the last takes is them just standing cross-armed, kind of like power to the people, and I don't blame them.
It was one of the most frustrating days of our life. An insanely expensive video, but somehow, some way, I still like this video. As much as a pain in the ass as it was, it still somewhat captures what I originally wanted, which was some sort of bacchanalian insanity.
When we were editing, we decided to try something else which we really wanted to do, was to take the 35mm print, which is all clean and beautifully shot and lit, and we printed it down onto 16mm, a bit more grainy and rough, and then we printed that down onto 8mm Super 8, which is really rough and grainy. And then we took that Super 8 film and we actually went and scratched the film and burnt it and threw it down the stairs and put that back together. Did an edit where you'd go from super 35 lovely film into kind of a sepia 16mm, a bit more grainy, and this is all seamlessly, and then into a Super 8. And that really made it rough and kind of took apart the edifice, but I think at that point everyone was like, and you've made it look like a piece of shit. But we thought it looked great.
It's quite cool, actually. It's a cool alternative version of it. I think it was right to leave it the way it is.